Hey cousins, welcome to another episode of Respectfully. Today I want to talk about the difference between what is cancel culture and what is a justified firing. Because if you guys are familiar with Jubilee's new format called Surrounded, where it is one person versus 20 people on the other side, well, the most recent episode was Mehdi Hassan, who is a known progressive, versus 20 far-right conservatives. Now, where this all spills out is there's a guy on there named Connor, also known as Pine Sap Online. He apparently was fired due to his political beliefs and is now raising money in support because he was fired. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, I do believe in freedom of speech, but I don't believe in freedom of consequences. There is certain speech that comes with consequences, and we're going to talk a bit about that today and just going through why I think that Pine Sap is the goofy of the day. Okay, first of all, I have to paint the full picture for you guys. So, you know, I was trolling Pine Sap a little bit because I haven't watched the full clip, but I have seen a couple clips from the clip. So I'm going to see. I don't even know how long the whole thing is of his section. But from what I saw, it was completely unhinged. OK, and he was saying things that were intentionally inflammatory, claiming to be a fascist, you know, supporting literal Nazi genocide. And I want to hear him. I want to hear him out in full to see what he has to say. But first, I need to show you guys how ridiculous this Give, Send, Go is. He has a $15,000 goal. We can bring up my screen here too. He has a $15,000 goal, and so far he has raised $36,000 at the time of filming this, which is insane. You know, I was trolling him. I was like, yeah, let's stop the reparations. Let's stop the alt-right reparations. But let's see what he says here, how he describes this. He says, "My name is Connor, and I was recently shown in the latest Jubilee episode. As a result, unfortunately, I was subsequently released from my job. I'm raising money as an emergency fund and for other expenses while I look for a new job. Unfortunately," which I really would love to know what he did for work to see how much was he actually making to be raising $36,000, but all that in a month, all that to say, "Unfortunately, voicing fully legal, traditional right-wing political views results in real consequences." Oh, who would have known? "This is cancel culture and political discrimination on full display. I just went on the yada yada yada, share my story. Here's what happened." So yeah, here you guys see prayer requests. Okay, we love that. We love the prayer requests. I hope you find the Lord because you clearly need him. And this comments, "First Amendment forever. God bless you, Sap." Interesting. "You walked into this debate as a Christian nationalist, got cut off, and ended up losing your job. Now you're $35,000 richer. Congratulations, Connor. You are the real winner of this debate." You know what? Points were made. He kind of did walk away with the last laugh, getting all this money. Probably a bunch of clout, because like I had personally never heard of him, but now a lot of people have because they are simping and justifying the fact that he is raising money, saying that he got fired because of cancel culture. Now, here's the thing is, again, to clarify, I do believe in freedom of speech. Freedom of speech means that you do not go to jail for what it is that you have to say. And as someone who talks about controversial topics online, I don't think that like discussing something controversial or having a nuanced perspective on something that is unpopular means that you should be deplatformed, fired, or anything like that. However, there are levels to this, and I know that's where it might sound a little hypocritical, but it's like I feel like there is a reasonable threshold on when this is going too far. When you start publicly declaring that you are, and I don't think that it's something that should get them kicked offline, but if I were an employer, I would not want to hire someone that is bragging about being a fascist and supporting Nazi genocide, if I remember what he said correctly or what he was inferring to correctly. So I want to talk to you cousins. I want y'all to tell me, am I being harsh? Is this employer being harsh? Or is it completely justified that this man was fired due to what he had to say on Jubilee, a channel with millions and millions of subscribers, mind you? So let's pull up the whole clip.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-Constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because
okay, let's pause this first. And let's actually run this back. I want to read the prompt first. So the prompt here that they are debating, again, that's a progressive he's across from, and Connor is the white guy in the blue shirt. It says, "Donald Trump is defying the Constitution." Okay, so that is the debate that's here. That's the prompt that Hassan has presented. Now let's run this back.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with
I'm sorry,
Trump
run it
being
back again. I have to address this. Because that is a pet peeve of mine. Okay, pause on the handshake.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pause. Something that irritates my soul to the next degree is when men don't know how to give a proper handshake. And this is a crazy example where neither of them knows how to give a proper handshake. Why do they both look like they're talking to while also presenting as damsels in distress? What is with these limp little fingers? What is this? What is this little cupping thing that's going on here? If you don't learn how to shake a hand, especially as a conservative, the progressive, I'm not shocked, but you are priding yourself in being a far right conservative. You apply to be listed as a far right conservative, and you don't even know how to shake a grown man's hand. I'm repulsed. I'm so repulsed, but that's just me. I'm already over it. Let's keep going.
Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-Constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards...
You don't really care about the Constitution. It's crazy.
In regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us.
Yes.
And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women and children be victimized.
The irony,
as a result of that.
pause real quick. The irony of that, to say that the First Amendment shouldn't allow corn, but it should allow him to, as you're going to see soon, declare being a fascist and promoting being a fascist to millions of people. I think it should support both, but I mean, to an extent. Don't do too much. Don't do too much in the comments dragging me. Here, let me just keep going.
Things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment. I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal
Pause
processes.
again. I don't want this whole thing to be about just like how much I hate his takes, because, and I just want to make it clear, because some of you try to say that I am far right. I am not any of these people. You could not catch me in a room with these people on this side, and if you do, just know I didn't know who's going to be in the room. So I just really don't like these takes already. It's like blasphemy should be banned by the First Amendment. It's like, we are a country that's founded on Judeo-Christian values, but we are not a religious country inherently. We have separation of church and state. So how would you even enforce that? Like, that's borderline Sharia law, but just the Catholic version is what he's trying to present. I don't like that. I think that in this country, like, obviously, I don't like blasphemy. I don't support blasphemy. But if someone is going to be blasphemous, they have the right to do so in this country. So it's like, that's not just a slippery slope. Like, he's just trying to plummet straight to hell. Let's keep going.
That are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So this is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay, surprise, I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do, because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
Whenever
the
it's in
Second
your
Amendment.
favor.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
you don't
it's the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Pause. See, okay, I'm gonna try not to jump in too much, child, but let me say this. What frustrates me so much about the far right is they perpetuate every stereotype that people that are sane and right-leaning try to fight. Like, we try so hard in the last 5 years especially to rebrand our party or rebrand our side, that we're not these racist, fascist, bigoted, hateful people, these people who want autocracy, these people who want to force their beliefs down your throats and don't think that you should have a say at the table unless you agree with them. And then you have this panel of people that are just wildly hateful. And the ironic part is there's people in this room that I see nodding that I know a lot about that I'm not going to air out, and they pretend to believe this stuff, but trust me, they don't. Next.
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree, and
so
that's
you
part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone. I can't even remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted. I kind of voted just to.
I came with this argument, but I'm bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local
Who
leaders.
is the we,
or-
by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far-right conservatives sitting right around
White
me.
people?
Yeah,
No brown
absolutely.
people. So,
Well,
some
actually,
of you guys,
I have quite.
some of the people in this room don't make the cut from what I can see visually.
Actually, hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you. I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white, and it should stay that
How
way.
does the United States... I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is, well, my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh,
to say
well,
your name.
I
Connor,
use a pseudonym online,
fair enough,
but
Connor.
fair enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
I didn't ask about
whether-
deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader such as
Where does he come
Franco. It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
No, but
who
who picks the autocrat?
frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings
So
were
isn't
paid.
that democracy?
Well, sure.
Right.
You can have a vote to get to that stage.
And then no more votes afterwards.
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
What?
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills because
How do you
that's the
know?
whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to
Carl
kill
Ma-
everyone.
Pause.
Schmitt ma-
First of all, you're overweight. So if this autocrat comes through and says that people with big backs are getting slaughtered and fed to the pigs, it starts with you. So this is crazy. Like he's literally, and it's scary because you can't really tell sometimes with these people who actually believes this stuff and who doesn't. And the fact that like the progressive here is the one who sounds more sane, I hate that. I hate that I'm sitting here like, mind you, I can't stand either of them. And it's like, I'm sitting here like, why is the progressive the more sane one here? But I guess the progressive, I don't know much about Madan or whatever his name is, Hassan, but whatever his name is, I don't know that much about him. But from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't seem like he's too extreme. But this person who's obviously extreme right and saying like, oh, we need to vote our rights away and then just have no more elections after that. It's like, dude, you're not even the Aryan race. So it's like, what do you want? It's like, you better bleach your hair like I did and get in line and eat less. That's the only way that you're going to make it. Let's keep going.
Makes this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right? You
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi
yeah,
theoretician.
absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a
Who
fan of
ca-
the Nazis?
I don't. I frankly don't care
See.
being called a Nazi. At
I didn't
all.
say that. I
Doesn't
didn't
matter
actually
to
say
me.
that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
What about the
you know,
persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But
And
you
so
don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
The way he's tiptoeing around
I
it.
think that there was a
girl.
little bit of persecution
We
and
may
stuff
have
like that,
to
which is
rename
bad.
this show
but,
because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
T.
hey, what can I say?
I think you could say, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Fired.
Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where
unemployed
everyone is on
fascist.
this.
Because
Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out
Yeah,
who the fascists
absolutely.
and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
clearly you're not.
During the
Clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat
Are
cats. They
you
were
in favor
aristocrats.
of,
They didn't care.
favor of killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not. If
You mentioned
they,
Franco earlier. Franco
If.
killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children. He was Catholic.
He only
dude.
killed combatants. Is that what you're
Yeah,
claiming?
he
now?
only killed combatants.
Never killed any innocent people.
The White Terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns, dude. Killing priests? I mean, priests don't brandish guns and kill
You
people.
just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think about me. If I'm a Nazi
And
and
the
being a
feeling
Nazi
is mutual, so-
and being a Nazi means upholding human
kinda
dignity,
done.
because I even believe in your dignity. I don't in a state that I was
with the
running.
greatest of
I wouldn't
respect,
want to hurt
I
you
don't
or
debate.
anything like that. But
What are we
quite
doing
frankly,
here? I don't debate fascists.
okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why?
Do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you
don't
just seem
know what
offended.
you're doing here,
You
to be
just seem
honest.
offended, to be
clips
quite frankly.
salivating.
Like,
I'm offended by people who can't condemn the Nazis. Yes, I am.
okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they
So
did, but I don't really
Against
care
the
about
Jews?
being. Yeah, sure. I don't care though about being called a Nazi
sure.
is the whole thing.
I never called you a
I
Nazi.
care
You
about
called
doing
yourself
the right
a Nazi
thing.
and a fascist and a General Franco
Well,
supporter.
yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the
A
whole
And you
whole
don't
Nazi.
believe in democracy.
I don't believe in
What
democracy.
are you doing here at a televised debate? This is democracy, not what a debate and disagreement.
Because it is the means to support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because we want to be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean
This is
upholding
great.
free speech after we win. Again, I mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in is that you guys are so open about it.
The
It's
whole
great.
reason I
Say
mentioned
the quiet part loud.
the
Keep saying
whole
it.
reason I mentioned Carl
That's
Schmitt
a
earlier, and you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction.
past him because of the Nazi
even
point.
liberals, when they take
Fascists
power,
come in all
they want
shapes
to
and colors.
enact policies and they want to enact protections for their people and their ideas, and they're willing to punish their enemy. And so I'm the same way. I'm like, hey, if you're going to punish me, I'm going to get in power, and I'm going to frankly punish you when you try to leverage power against me. Just that simple.
Me watching this.
I'm not sure what you want to say.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right. Pause.
That just raised my blood pressure. I don't even know. Well, first of all, you're fired. If I was an employer watching this, I would be like, I don't know what he did for work, but I more likely than not, depending on his role, I would honestly, I don't even care what the role is, unless he's like, I don't know. I don't even know what I think that man is justified to be working a job at. But oh, how do I put my words to this? He had being fired coming. That's what it comes down to. Okay, I'm not even trying to be a hater. It's not even just because I disagree with his views, but there's no way as an employer I would want that person representing my company. You refuse to condemn the literal execution of millions of Jews. You try to like brush it off like that's an afterthought when we're talking about Nazi Germany. You're bragging about being a fascist. You're embracing the title of being a Nazi, and then you're confused why you're fired. And then you want to say that that's a violation of your free speech? No, you have the freedom to say all of that. You have the freedom to say all of those words and all of that hate on a platform with millions of followers. So you have freedom of speech. But what you don't have is freedom, or what you aren't able to take away is an employer's freedom to fire you and to select who it is that's working for them. Okay? You clearly weren't in some kind of contract. And if you were, they released you from it early. So it's like, I don't understand how you're surprised by these consequences. There are consequences to certain actions. You know, PragerU is all about free speech. PragerU tells me, go talk about whatever I want to talk about. However, you don't see me out here saying my most unhinged thoughts because I got to keep the rent paid. Okay? So it's like there's just a level of decorum that we need to have as a society. You know, we have freedom of speech, but when you abuse those freedoms, it just completely devalues the whole purpose of protecting our rights through our Bill of Rights. So yeah, and then this guy's talking about how he wants to turn our country into an autocracy state. It's like, come on. You wouldn't even be Hitler's first choice. And that's all I got to say about that. I hope you enjoyed this, Kiki Cousins. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will talk to you soon.